I am on the other side of this. Like, we've been divorcing now through this process for a whole year. And, it's caught up with what I had to do.
Right.
So, like, emotionally, I feel like I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to heal, ready
Gotcha.
to move on. But, here comes a reality show. So here's the part of my life where it gets interesting. I'm done with the divorce, but I had to deal with it, all the darkness on camera.
So here's what's going down. Porsha Williams is in some deep waters with this house situation. Let me break it down real quick. This whole mess actually started when her soon-to-be ex-husband, Simon Guobadia, gave her 36 months of free living in that house. That means she didn't have to pay a dime in mortgage because, according to court documents, Simon said she didn't have a job. He basically gave her time to get her financial life together. Now fast forward to today, those 36 months are almost up and Porsha was supposed to refinance the home in her own name. But now, word is, the bank said nope because her credit ain't looking good. Allegedly, her credit score is too low to qualify for the mortgage. And we're not talking about some tiny little home loan either. We're talking tens of thousands per month in payments. And get this, Simon's not helping anymore. He stopped paying the mortgage. In fact, he testified in court that it costs about $50,000, 0 cents a month to keep that house running. Porsha says it's closer to $20,000, 0 cents. Either way, that's a whole lot of money to owe when you don't have a job and the bank already denied your loan.
We've been divorcing now through this process for a whole year. And, it's caught up with what I had to do.
Right.
So, like, emotionally, I feel like I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to heal, ready to move on.
Okay, before we start dragging Porsha, let's talk about how we even got here, because her situation didn't just pop out of nowhere. Now, y'all remember when she shocked everybody by announcing she was engaged to Simon Guobadia, the same man who was married to her Real Housewives of Atlanta castmate, Falynn, at the time. That whole thing was already messy. Fast forward a little bit and they tied the knot in 2 lavish weddings. They had the whole fairy tale, designer gowns, gold everything, Nigerian traditions, and enough sparkle to blind a camera lens. But all that glitters clearly ain't gold because not even 2 years in, they're heading straight for divorce court. Now, here's where the real tea starts brewing. According to court documents, when they got married, Simon basically set Porsha up in that big old mansion in Duluth. We're talking about a $7 million 0 cents property. He put her name on the deed, but not the mortgage. That's important, remember that. So Simon tells the court that Porsha had no income when they got married. That's right, 0. No steady job, no show checks coming in. And because of that, he agreed to let her live in the house mortgage-free for 36 months. That was supposed to be her time to reestablish herself. And yes, Simon told the judge that he paid for everything. The utilities, the upkeep, the bills, all of it. He claimed it was costing him about $50,000 0 cents every month just to maintain that home and her lifestyle. But guess what? That free ride was always temporary. The deal was that after those 36 months, Porsha had to refinance the home in her name, meaning she had to take over the mortgage herself and handle it like a grown woman.
He didn't want you to record in the house?
Yes. So I did.
But it was your house.
Yes, our house. So, I know he's explained it 1,000 different ways online. He has documented our entire divorce on the Simon Show online, and then I have the Housewives, I suppose. But, there is paperwork in place that would make it a marital property 50-50 split. Outside of that being enforced, it is a premarital property or whatever.
So here's the gag. Porsha was supposed to refinance the house, but guess what? It's not happening. And we're not just speculating. Porsha herself said in court that she needed the full 3 years to reestablish herself. Now, some of y'all might be asking, well, couldn't she just refinance the house if it's in her name? Sounds easy, right? Not really. The issue is credit. See, refinancing a house, especially one that expensive, ain't something you can do with a so-so credit score. Banks don't play when it comes to luxury homes. They want to see proof of income, solid credit, and real financial stability. And according to the court filings, that's exactly what she doesn't have right now. Simon said she wouldn't be able to get approved, and the bank seems to agree because they've already denied her. Let's just keep it real. Anyone who's ever tried to get a jumbo loan knows bad credit? Guys, that bank ain't calling you back. They don't care if you're on TV or have 1 million followers. If your numbers ain't right, it's a wrap. So now she's got this huge house, no husband helping with the bills, and no approval to refinance it in her name. That 36-month grace period about to expire. And when it does, unless she can pull a miracle out of nowhere, she might have to pack it up. And let's not forget, Simon already said he's done paying for anything. He told the judge he's not giving her another dime. So yeah, it's not just a little hiccup, it's a full-on financial crisis. And Simon, he is officially out of the picture, and I mean all the way out. He's not just emotionally checked out of the marriage, that man has dipped internationally and, more importantly, financially. He's left the building and the bills. So here's what we know for sure. Simon is not paying the mortgage anymore. And this ain't just some Instagram gossip or somebody misreading a blog headline. This came straight from Simon's own mouth in court. The man testified that the mortgage on the house runs him about $50,000, 0 cents a month. Yes, you heard that right. Now, that's a big number, right? But here's where it gets even messier. Porsha, on her side, told the court something totally different. She claimed the mortgage is only $20,000, 0 cents a month. Well, how do you not know your own mortgage? Something ain't adding up, and it's making both of them look a little sideways. But honestly, if Simon's telling the truth and that monthly payment really is $50, 0 cents, K, and he stopped paying it, then Porsha's got a major problem. That kind of payment isn't something you can ignore for a few months and hope the bank forgets. One missed payment and it's a wrap. Foreclosure knocking on the door. And let's not forget, Simon said he was done, period. In his court filings, he basically told Porsha good luck figuring it out, and he wasn't being petty, he was being legal. He said she's responsible now, and he's out. No spousal support, no more utilities, not even help with the maintenance. She wanted the house, cool. Now she got to keep it.
You know, just because you're going through a divorce doesn't mean you hate someone. I hate actions, I hate lies, I hate a lot of characteristics, but I love the person, you know, and I would never wish harm on anybody. And at the end of the day, I know that he's the type of person, he's a slithering snake. He's going to find his way out of it. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Let's talk about the child support claim, because this right here had folks in the courtroom giving each other side eyes. So Porsha got up in court and said that she helped Simon with his child support payments. Now that's a bold thing to say, especially when you're in the middle of a financial battle. But if true, it shows she was really holding things down, right? The problem? She didn't show a single receipt. And y'all know how the court works. It's not about what you say, it's about what you can prove. Porsha didn't bring any bank statements, no transaction history, no canceled checks, nothing. Just vibes and confidence. Like, girl, where the proof is? If you really covered those payments, wouldn't you at least bring a screenshot of a Zelle transfer, a Venmo note, a little paid to child support services memo? Something? Because now the court's looking at her sideways. And that weakens her credibility big time, especially when she's also trying to convince them that she can refinance $1 million mansion and handle her financial business. You can't say you're paying someone else's bills, but then not be able to prove you're even paying your own. Now listen, this part right here, this might be the quiet reason why all this drama is blowing up the way it is. So here's what folks have been whispering. Porsha's credit is a mess. But let's just keep it real for a second. If the bank straight up told her no when she tried to refinance that home, that says a lot without saying too much. Because banks love money. They want to lend it to the right people. And a woman with reality TV fame, brand partnerships, and $1 million mansion under her name, she should have been an easy yes, right? But when the bank hit her with the decline, you know something is off. Now, she did admit in court that she needed 3 years to reestablish herself, which basically means my finances are raggedy right now, but I'm working on it. And we've all been there at some point. But if she really thought she was going to walk in and lock down a jumbo loan on that property with a shaky credit score, Guys, even Klarna would have said try again later. You don't just manifest a mortgage. You gotta show that history, that income, and yes, that little 3-digit score. If that score's sitting in the low 500s, you're not getting a loan for $1 million home. You're not even getting approved for the HOA fees.
One thing about me and my fans do respect, I'm transparent. So even though it didn't turn out the story that I wanted to share, I still was open with what I had.
Okay, so what's next for Miss Porsha? Well, it ain't looking cute. Here's where things get tricky. Because let's say Porsha can't refinance, which so far looks like the case, then her only real option is to sell the house. But guys, that's easier said than done. This market right now is bad, and it's not like folks are lining up to buy luxury homes that come with baggage. This isn't selling Sunset. There ain't a camera crew glamorizing the drama. There's real paperwork, real legal mess, and real money on the line. And buyers? They're not trying to inherit all that. Plus, when word gets out that someone's trying to sell a home because they have to, not because they want to, the offers come in low and the sharks start circling. People will try to lowball her all the way down. So if she's looking to sell and walk away with a big bag, that's not likely. And if she doesn't sell, then she's stuck with a mortgage she can't cover, a credit score that can't help, and an ex who already said good luck with that. Now, sources say she is stressed out, and not just a little stressed, but walking around the house with a bonnet and a glass of wine kind of stressed. Allegedly, she's been losing sleep, pacing the floor, trying to figure out her next move, because really, what can she do at this point? She's not working a steady job, she's not locked in on any big TV deals, and the house isn't paying for itself. You can only keep up appearances for so long before the bills start talking louder than the branding. Now I gotta ask y'all, if you were in Porsha's heels, what would you do? Sell the house and start over? Hit up Simon for a loan and hope he picks up? Or maybe get the Bravo producers on speed dial and pitch a new spinoff? Because one thing about Porsha, she knows how to stay in the spotlight, and this might just be the storyline she uses to spin that block. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I know y'all got something to say.